You're welcome back to the show. Many thanks for staying with us. We take you to the central region now, where staff of St Augustine's College in Cape Coast say they are not happy with the choice of their school as an isolation center. According to them, they still live on campus and cannot share their facilities with persons who have been isolated and been tested for COVID-19. Health authorities have arrived at the school and begun preparing dormitories for the exercise. Richard Kojonyako is there for us. He joins me right now with more details. Hello, Richard.
Hi, Gifty.
Right, Richard, so give us an update on what has happened. I mean, you've been there since morning. Has anything changed as far as the teachers and their request not for the place to be used as an isolation center?
Also, right now, the dormitory that was chosen for the isolation exercise has been logged by the people that came to put the place in order. You know that yesterday the Central Region recorded its first COVID-19 case. Following that, they decided to choose an isolation center, and so St. Augustine's was chosen as one of the isolation centers. Earlier, the regional minister had hinted that one school in every district would be selected as an isolation center should a case be recorded. At that time, no case had been recorded in the central region. So this morning, the teachers said they were there when their head informed them about the decision by authorities to use the place as an isolation center. And that decision did not go down well with them because they say that about 60% of the teaching population still live on campus, their children, their family, and other associates. And so bringing the people that are coming, that are to be isolated to the campus would be very, very wrong. And they fear the repercussions because they don't know what would happen. And besides, they are also on campus, not that they want to be on campus, they are still marking. And apart from marking, they're also conducting online classes for their students. And so it is like a permanent abode for them. So they should have even had a meeting with the staff to inform them of the decision so that they could arrive at an amicable decision or conclusion as to the usage of the place. But they said that they were only informed that that was what was going to happen, and they said that that is not acceptable and they cannot agree with them. It is not only St. Augustine's that is having challenges with the selection of a place as an isolation center. The Futu Senior High School was also selected as an isolation center, and currently the residents there are rioting. They are preventing the authorities from going to put the place in order to start the isolation process. And they have blocked the road. The police, they have dispatched a team there, but they say that the situation is very dire. And so the police are in a meeting with the chiefs and opinion leaders in that particular community to ensure that they all speak one language and an amicable resolution would be reached. So that is what is happening at the moment.
Richard, I don't know if you have engaged some of these residents or the teachers who are the staff, for example, of St. Augustine's College, who are not very happy with the use of their facility. But are they providing any alternatives, seeing that this is a disease that can affect anybody at all?
Well, I've been speaking with them. This morning, after the communication was given, they held a welfare meeting, and they came to the conclusion that they are not going to allow, they are going to petition the Metro Chief Executive and the Regional Minister, as well as the other stakeholders who came together to take that decision that St. Augustine should be chosen. Rather, they are recommending that there are some day schools in Cape Coast where there are no teachers or there are no staff that are currently there. They could have chosen those schools, put the places in order for them to use them as isolation centers, or better, they could use some of the guest houses and the hotels that are available, because now people are not even patronizing the hotels and the guest houses, so they could have even used those places. They are also, thirdly, they are also recommending that the Cape Coast Sports Stadium is there, and then the old Cape Coast Sports Stadium is there. They could just put up tents, put a better place for them, for the people to be there. They fear that the people that are going to be put in the isolation in one of the dormitories, the children went home. A lot of them have their provisions, their mattresses, and the other things. Then any of them could escape, like we have learned in other areas where they have escaped from where they are supposed to be. And so they cannot really compromise on that, and they care. They are scared of what would happen should that happen.
And have the authorities had these alternatives that the teachers or the staff of St. Augustine's are recommending?
Well, the Metropolitan Assembly is not really happy that their choice of these places are in the public domain. They say that it was something that was supposed to have been kept secret, and then they would have judged with them. But that is where the teachers have a problem, because they said that they did not consult them. They should have consulted them, because they are also a major stakeholder should they plan to bring the people here. So when I spoke with the assembly, that was what they said, that it wasn't their choice, that thing, the choice of a place should be in the public domain. That's so people could tag, for instance, St. Augustine College as a school that people have been brought there to be isolated.
Very, very insightful one there, as you say it. But Richard, before I let you go, I want to find out, this is the first case that the Central Region has recorded. And of course, Central Region is not a part of those areas in lockdown. How do the people react to this?
Well, so yesterday, a lot of people panicked. First of all, they were blaming the person that tested positive to the COVID-19, that when he came, he came on the 15th of March, even though it did not fall within the mandatory quarantine period, the man should have done self-quarantine, so that it could have saved everybody of what they are going through. And secondly, because people now know where the man lives, now there is a tendency for people to move from that area to put up with friends and families elsewhere in other suburbs in Cape Coast. And so that's what people are talking about a possible lockdown. They are calling that they should lock down the entire Cape Coast so that they could test other people that might have come into contact with the man, and then people could be free. It was their prayer that Cape Coast or the Central Region shouldn't record any case like that, but their prayers, I feel, have not been answered.
Right. And this man, this person who was tested positive, do we know his whereabouts as of now?
Well, the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital is one of the centers that has been chosen by the Ghana Health Service. So even though I'm not really certain, but the thinking is that the man has been picked. We're told that it was one of the daughters that called a doctor friend, that the man had shown some signs of the COVID, because he's been coughing for a very long time, and they have not called any health authorities to come to their aid. And so she decided that, well, let me call this doctor, and then they sent and then got his samples, and then he tested positive. But he's been in the country for close to 3 weeks, so it left people thinking that, hey, could the virus stay with someone for that long period, where they are talking about 14 days, and the man came, and then he showed all these signs, but yet the people did not tell anybody about this one. So these are the thoughts of residents here.
We'll certainly, I'm sure, get some more from you, Richard, on this. Thank you very much for that update. Richard Kojonako joining us from the Central Region, which has recorded its first case. It's actually the latest region to join in regions in Ghana, making it 7 in all. 7 regions so far have recorded cases. Now, the Central Region, he's telling us the place that's set or meant to be an isolation center, St. Augustine's, the staff there are not very happy about it. Authorities there also not very happy about the fact that the name or the place has been out there as a place designated to be an isolation center. Certainly very difficult times. We'll get through this as we go along.